Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to share with you 7 shortcuts to help you create more content right now. Welcome along to 5 minutes of Fitbizpiration. I'm your host, Chantal Brodrick, and it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you along to our live weekly show, which is a place where I share bite-sized business tips in under 5 minutes. We call it 5 minutes of Fitbizpiration, and as I said, today we're talking about shortcuts to creating more content. So a couple of bits and pieces. First of all, good morning to everyone on Facebook. Good morning to everyone on Instagram. I'm going to do my very best to keep us at 5 minutes today. So we're going to rip through these 7 content shortcuts for you guys. Now, you may have noticed that I'm actually wearing a particular brand today. And the reason that I'm wearing that brand today is not because they're paying me to, but because I love this brand. And what you may not know is that this Saturday in Surrey Hills, Barry's Bootcamp, which is the brand I'm talking about, is actually opening up its their very first Sydney studio, which I'm incredibly excited about. And as luck would have it, our special guest on today's episode of the Fitness Business Podcast is actually the CEO of Barry's Bootcamp, Joey Gonzalez. So guys, make sure you check out that episode. It also happens to be the inspiration for today's 5 minutes of Fitbizpiration. Let me tell you why. So during that interview with Joey, one of the things that we talked about is marketing and branding. And one of the things that I admire so much about Barry's is the consistency in their brand and in their messaging. And as we were talking about branding, that then made me think about content. And when I was thinking about content, I then realized that I've got a heap of really cool shortcuts that I think will really help you guys in creating more content for your communities. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what I'm here to share with you guys today. Good morning, JT, and good morning, Matt, over at GoPT on Insta. Okay, guys, so let's get stuck straight into this episode. And do me a huge favor. If you like the tips that I share with you today on 5 minutes of Fitbizpiration, then give me a thumbs up, give me a love heart, tell me that you're enjoying them, or perhaps even tell me which one of these tips are most useful to you today. Okay, here we go. So your 7 shortcuts for creating more content. Okay, tip number 1 is this: FAQs, frequently asked questions. It's really quick and easy for you to write down the 10 most frequently asked questions that your members or that your clients might ask you, and answer each one of those questions in a social post, on a video, on a podcast, whatever it might be. What are the most frequently asked questions that your members or your customers ask you? There's 10 content pieces right away, just like that. Number 2, create top 5 or top 10 lists. These are incredibly easy to create. And if you don't like writing long posts, which I know that a lot of people don't, then doing top 5 or top 10 lists are a really great way of creating quick content. You could do things like, top 5 foods to avoid when you're eating clean, top 10 ways to move more often. Bullet point the list. Don't go over the top with writing it, bullet point it and post it. There's content number 2. Brianna, good morning. So lovely to see you here. Number 3, guys, is hashtag BTS, okay? Behind the scenes. You would be so surprised how many people actually want to see what you do on a day-to-day basis. This is especially important for my club managers out there, personal trainers that are listening in, fitness professionals. Your clients look up to you. They're inspired by you, and they want to know what you're doing on a day-to-day basis to look the way that you do, to have your energy, to get stuff done during your day. So behind the scenes, or hashtag BTS, is a really great content piece that you could produce, and it's particularly effective in video format. So for those of you that have customers that are online, they're probably online, customers that are on Instagram, then Insta Stories is a really great place to do behind the scenes. So that was number 3. You ready for number 4? So I'm just going to jump in with what JT said. So JT just said he suggests top 7 or top 9. I said top 5 or top 10 because the brain responds to odd numbers. Great tip, JT. Thank you for that. Number 4, guys, is how-to pics or videos. So just a really easy how-to guide. I bet you that straight away you could come up with like at least 10 how-to videos in under 5 minutes. It's a super easy concept, easy to do. Write down a quick list, things like how to set up a position for a squat, how to make a green smoothie, how to properly set up your spin bike. There are heaps of how-to ideas that you can come up with for your content. Number 5, did you know? So showing people a whole lot of common things. Did you know how to set up a squat, how to burn off a glass of red wine, whatever it might be. Did you know? Number 6 is polls or questions, and in particular for this one, I really love the Instagram question button. If you missed my episode a couple of weeks ago, that is an amazing content generator. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, in Instagram now, you can go into the section where you've got like location and time and temperature and GIF files. Under there is a button that says ask me a question. You can actually customize that section, ask me a question, and put in something specific. So if you're a gym owner, it might be the question might be, what is your biggest fitness challenge right now? Okay, what do you want to know most about when it comes to health and fitness? If your community is on that particular platform, then you're going to get a heap of responses. Each single response that you get can be turned into a content piece. I did it a couple of weeks ago with a business-related question. I think it generated something like 20 responses, which is 20 content pieces. Really easy. If your audience is not on Instagram, you can do the same thing in your Facebook group and just reach out. You can do the same thing on email as well. Reach out and ask them a question. By inviting that information in, it not only gives you content, but it means that you're getting back to your customers and your community and your audience, your members, with relevant information that they are going to find useful. So it's a beautiful connection tool as well. So that was number 6. Number 7, the last one is this. Look at influencers in your area of expertise and look to industry-based conferences as to what those groups are talking about. So here's what I mean. If you're a fitness business owner, or if you're a fitness professional, personal trainer, have a look at all the topics that are currently being addressed in a lot of the major conferences near you, things that are relevant to you. Chances are if they're being talked about at a conference, then there's going to be relevance to your business, and you can actually pick out the bits of information from those conferences and repurpose it, do your own research and put that out as content. Use that as a content generation idea. If you have a look at influencers, I'll give you an example of what I do. So because we are obviously based in providing fitness business relevant information for you guys, what I will do is have a look at people that are experts in social media, sales, marketing, people that are entrepreneurs, and I have a look at what they're talking about, what the hottest topics are, and then draw out the pieces of information that I think will be most relevant for you guys, the FBP family, and then repurpose it or have a look at how I can present it to you in a way that's going to be useful for you in your business. So you can do exactly the same thing. Have a look at the fitness influencers out there that you admire, that you trust, that you follow. See if there are topics they're talking about that you can actually utilize, or you can draw inspiration from that content. Give me a thumbs up if you like the sound of some of those, or if there are some ideas in there that you can actually utilize for your business. I hope so. I know I'm a couple of minutes over. So let's have a really, really quick recap for anyone that came on a little bit late. So number 1 was FAQs, frequently asked questions. Number 2 was doing your top list. So I said top 5, top 10. JT recommended doing top 7, top 9. It's up to you what you do. Just bullet points, a really easy way to create content. Number 3, BTS, hashtag BTS, behind the scenes. Show people what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. They love that stuff. Number 4, how-to pics or videos. Really simple way to create content. Number 5, did you know? So showing people a whole lot of common things. Did you know how to set up a squat, how to burn off a glass of red wine, whatever it might be. Did you know? Number 6 is doing polls, surveys, or questions. And I gave you the example of the Instagram question. And number 7 was looking to industry conferences and industry influencers for inspiration on topics to chat to your community about. Whew. That was a lot of information. I did a top 7, JT, so I should get a thumbs up for that. I think it was a lot to get through. Maybe I should have done 5. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you found that information useful, and I hope that you can use some of those content ideas to generate more content for your business and for your customers. Couple of quick things to finish off. I mentioned right at the very beginning that our special guest in this week's episode of the Fitness Business Podcast is the CEO of Barry's Bootcamp, Joey Gonzalez. It is a really great behind the scenes, speaking of which, it's a really great look at Barry's, about how they train their coaches, about their marketing, about how they've kind of grown the business over a period of time. What I love about this episode is this, and this is for all of my PTs out there or people that are new to the industry. Joey actually started in the fitness industry as a customer. He then went to becoming a group fitness instructor for Barry's. He worked his way through the business and he's now the CEO. I think that is an amazing story for us all to think about what is possible when we step foot in the fitness industry and what the career pathways can actually be. So listening to that episode, it's episode 189. You can hear about Joey's story, hear all about Barry's Bootcamp. So that is coming out. It's out right now, as a matter of fact. So you can listen to that on iTunes or at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to 5 Minutes of Fitbizpiration. Thank you to all of Insta out there. Thank you to Facebook. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you same time, same place next week for 5 Minutes of Fitbizpiration.